Have your adult children stopped calling as often? Do visits feel shorter or even disappear completely? You could be wondering, what happened? Did I do anything wrong? And the reality is, sometimes it's not what you did, it's what you said. In this video, we'll explore 5 everyday statements that sound innocent but could be silently driving your children away. These aren't insults or bitter words. In fact, they commonly come from love or loneliness. But as time passes, they can destroy even the closest relationships. Don't worry, we'll also tell you what to say instead, because it's never too late to restore trust, open the door again, and feel that lasting relationship with your family. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and let's talk heart to heart. Phrase number 1, after all I have done for you. Let's face reality, this statement often comes out in a moment of sorrow. Perhaps your child skipped a birthday or didn't answer your call for days. You're left thinking, after all I've done, is this how they treat me? It's understandable. You've sacrificed many years, your time, your energy, even your own ambitions, for your children. Therefore, when they look distant, the hurt cuts deep. But here's the fact, when you say, after all I've done for you, you're not just communicating sorrow. You're unintentionally turning love into leverage. It makes the relationship seem transactional, like a debt they can never completely repay. And that's heavy. It causes guilt, bitterness, and worst of all, distance. Let me tell you about Donald, a 77-year-old father from Arizona. He couldn't understand why his son stopped calling. At dinner one night, he eventually said it, after all I've done, paid for university, supported your ambition, the least you could do is pick up the call. And that's when his son exploded. Many years of silent guilt had transformed into silent withdrawal. That moment was a wake-up call. Donald didn't mean to manipulate, he had simply missed his son. But his words were building a wall. Therefore, what can you do instead? Move from guilt to vulnerability. Say something like, I am missing your voice. I'd love it if we could catch up more frequently. Would a Sunday call work for you? Expresses the same yearning for connection but without emotional stings. It honors your sentiments and your child's independence. And here's the true gift, when you stop expecting payback for your love, you open space for something much deeper, appreciation that flows naturally without pressure. Phrase number 2, your spouse is turning you against me. This one is a landmine, and when it's said, it's extremely difficult to take back. At its foundation, this statement doesn't just condemn your child's partner, it questions their judgment. It sends the message, you're being manipulated, and I understand better than you do. But here's the reality, at the time your child got married or committed to a long-term partner, that connection became their chosen family, whether you approve of it or not. When you attack their spouse, you're attacking their life. Dr. Jeffrey Wilson, a family systems specialist, calls this emotional sabotage since it throws your child into an impossible position, choose me or choose them. And that pressure usually pushes them further away. Let's take Laura, a 67-year-old grandma from Minneapolis. She felt left out ever since her son got married. She would say things like, I bet Jessica doesn't want you spending time with me, or, you've changed since you met her. To Laura, these were minor frustrations. But behind the scenes, her son was discussing these statements with his wife, and it created cracks in their marriage. It all came to a head when Laura made a statement at a family meeting, accusing Jessica of stealing her son. The fallout? A year of silence. No phone calls, no holidays. She even skipped the birthday of her first grandson. At some point, with a lot of humility and help from a mental health professional, Laura understood she hadn't lost her son to his wife, she had pushed him away attempting to cling too tightly. Therefore, what can you say instead? Try something like, I truly love both of you. I'm still learning how to be supportive of your new family. Could we discover a method to stay close that's beneficial for everyone? This kind of communication does two things, it showcases mental maturity, and it indicates that you appreciate their relationship. Phrase number 3, in my day, we did things differently. At first glance, this might sound like an innocent trip down memory lane, but for adult children, it might sound like a discreet dig, a message that their way of living, raising children, or working somehow falls short. If you say, "In my day," what they usually hear is, "You're doing it wrong, and we had it harder or more correct back then." It forms a hidden wall between generations, a hidden judgment that develops hatred as time passes. Phrase number 4, "You will regret it when I'm gone." It's a statement said out of pain, out of fear of being forgotten, and out of a profound need to feel appreciated before it's too late. But let's be sincere, it's also one of the most dangerous things you can say to your adult children. When you say, "You'll regret it when I'm gone," you're not simply expressing sorrow. You're wrapping guilt, anxiety, and pressure into one emotionally loaded statement. And the result? Your children don't feel closer, they feel trapped. Let's talk about Bob, a 79-year-old grandpa from Seattle. He used to repeat this all the time when his children couldn't visit, when they refused to follow his advice, or even when they differed on anything small: "One day I will be gone, and you will wish you had listened." Initially, they brushed it off. But eventually, it wore them down. They started avoiding conversations, not because they didn't care, but because the emotional burden became too much. It wasn't until Bob's oldest son sat him down and said, "Dad, we love you." But when you keep saying things like that, it hurts more than it helps. Bob understood he wasn't asking for love, he was trying to force it through fear. With guidance from a family advisor, he found an alternative approach. He started saying things like, "These moments mean everything to me. I'd like to make more of them." Same emotion, completely different impact. Rather than pushing his children away, he was bringing them in, gently and without guilt.